Natasha Hanson recently moved into a new apartment in White Spring, Nevada. The apartment complex wasn't that huge, but the good news was there were special amenities. In other words, it was a smart apartment. And better yet, it was pet-friendly, so Natasha could bring along her buddy Max. But over the first week of moving in, Natasha started to notice some strange things about Max. Natasha would find Max barking at the closed door in the middle of the night, or fighting with the curtains in the dark until he got all tangled up. Mark would bark on and on, staring into the empty hall. "What is it, Max? What's wrong? What's bothering you, buddy? Are you hungry? How about your favorite chew toy? A game of fetch?" Max ignored everything and continued barking. Natasha was shocked. Max never refused playing with her. Just then, she heard a noise from the living room. Natasha slowly walked down the hall. She widened her eyes, seeing the TV had turned on by itself. The channels were changing at lightning speed before the TVs suddenly turned off as if it malfunctioned. This wasn't the first time something had malfunctioned in the apartment before. Sometimes the electric stove turned on by itself. Sometimes the shower water turned on boiling hot right in the middle of Natasha's shower. There were numerous electrical problems. A chill ran down Natasha's back. What was going on? She turned to look at Max when she thought she saw something move past her bedroom door. Natasha's heart started to beat. She wasn't someone that was superstitious, but then what did she just see? Natasha walked towards her door. The lights were off. She looked inside and could vaguely make out a figure move. With her trembling hands, Natasha patted the wall and turned on the light. She let out a breath of relief when she saw her bedroom empty. On the next evening, Natasha was arranging her apartment. She was taking out the trash when suddenly the door across from hers opened. Natasha found herself staring at a man. He had golden blonde hair. His eyes dazzled blue. He was tall and good-looking. Natasha wouldn't deny that she was instantly attracted to this handsome man. Natasha put on her flirty smile and was about to introduce herself when a young woman walked up behind him. "Who's at the door, Arnold?" Arnold didn't reply to her. Instead, he kept staring at Natasha with a strange look on his face. Jess came forward. "Hi, you must be the new neighbor. I'm Jess, and this is my boyfriend, Arnold." Suddenly, the smirk on Natasha's face turned to an awkward smile. She laughed it out and said, "Hello, I'm Natasha. Welcome to the neighborhood." Just when Natasha was about to shake hands with Arnold, her puppy Max ran out the door and started barking aggressively at Arnold. "What's wrong, Max?" When Arnold started to get a little annoyed at Max, Natasha tried to calm Max down, but Max wouldn't stop. "I thought golden retrievers were non-aggressive." "He doesn't usually behave like this. What's gotten into you, boy?" "Maybe he's just not used to the new surrounding, the new environment. I think I'll take him for a walk. See you around, Arnold." Natasha smiled at Arnold and waved at Jess as she went back inside. Over the next few days, Natasha looked forward to meeting Arnold. She would take every chance to talk to him, but Arnold wasn't so into her. He was rather quiet and stern, which made him even more desirable. Unfortunately, Jess always came in the way, so Natasha decided to invite both of them over. Arnold usually always refused, and the one time he did accept the invitation for a cup of coffee, Max came in the way and started going crazy. However, Jess often visited Natasha's apartment herself. During which got to know more about Arnold. "I got this apartment through my job. I recently got hired at a tech company here. I thought the neighborhood was great and the apartment was well furnished. I immediately accepted the offer." "What about you? And Arnold? What does Arnold do?" "I have my own boutique and Arnold is a technician at BII Electronics." "Wow, lucky. Looks and money. You got yourself the perfect man." "Oh, so you have your eyes on Arnold." Natasha felt a little awkward at first, just until she saw the smirk on Jess's face. Natasha was surprised. Jess wasn't jealous or possessive. Did she want to? Natasha laughed it off and changed the topic. "Talk about electronics. I'm kind of getting a little fed up with all that's been happening in here." "What? Are you having problems with the appliances?" "No, it's not that. Leave it. It's nothing. Just a silly paranoia. No one would believe me anyway. Maybe I just need a break from work. I was planning on visiting a friend tomorrow evening. Hey, could you take care of Max for me tomorrow for a few hours?" "Sure, no problem." After a lot of Jess left for the night, and the next morning went by as usual. Jess came over later that day to pick up Max. When they left, Natasha hopped into the shower. Only having to jump out moments later due to the sudden boiling water. The bathroom was fogged up with steam. Natasha was searching for the door when she squinted her eyes at the mirror. Natasha stumbled back in horror. Was she hallucinating? Her mind was playing tricks on her. She was just stressed out. This couldn't be real. Natasha suddenly bumped her head on something in the fog and fell unconscious on the floor. Natasha woke up to a knock on her door. She had tremendous pain in her head. She scrambled up from the bathroom floor and checked her phone. It was 10 p.m. She was passed out for hours. Natasha ran to the door. It was Jess and Max. "You're finally home? I've been waiting for hours. Mac's been acting up since Arnold came home from work. It's getting a little hard to handle." Jess stepped inside. She noticed the bruise on Natasha's forehead and an anxious look on her face. "Hey, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" Natasha told Jess everything that happened and that had been happening since she moved here. "I don't know what to believe anymore. Could this place really be haunted?" Jess widened her eyes. She looked around the apartment nervously. "Well, the people who offered you the deal on this apartment kept something hidden from you. Someone had passed away in here before." "Who? Do you know something about that person?" "Yes, I actually do. The truth is, this used to be Arnold's apartment. He lived here with his wife before she passed away from an accidental electrical malfunction in here. She was electrocuted. Arnold was a changed man after that. He was suffering from depression. I used to know the couple and I often came over to support Arnold through the emotional trauma he was going through. We never expected things to turn out the way they did, but we fell in love. But Arnold was still having a tough time living here. His late wife's memories still haunted him. He couldn't get over as long as he was here, so I told him to move in with me. Life can be tough. I hope I can fill that gap in Arnold has in his heart." Natasha furrowed her brows. "Oh," she said, looking at Jess's panicked face. Just then, there was a loud blasting noise in the kitchen, as if something had exploded. The lights were flickering ominously. All the electrical appliances started turning on and off, and Max was barking, louder than ever. Natasha was shocked. "What is going on?" she yelled. Jess suddenly fell to her knees. She suddenly started to cry. "Forgive me, Kate. Forgive me." Natasha was thundered seeing Jess so devastated. She stooped down and asked, "What are you saying, Jess? Who is Kate?" Jess sobbed as she spoke through her tears. "It was me. I was the reason all this happened. Arnold and I didn't get together after Kate's death. We had a secret affair. Arnold was cheating on Kate with me. When our relationship started to get serious, I kept urging Arnold to leave Kate, but he wouldn't listen to me. I felt betrayed and humiliated. I started to doubt if he was just using me. That's when I started to blackmail him. I told him I'd tell Kate everything. He only threatened me back, saying if I did anything like that, he would leave me forever as well. We would never be together. I couldn't let things go on like that. I plotted against Kate. I wanted her out of the picture. The accident wasn't an accident. The apartment fell quiet. Natasha stood up. She started to chuckle and shook her head. Thank you, Jess. That's all I needed to know. Everything had been recorded. Jess was devastated. Who are you? She demanded to know. Natasha and Kate were best friends since their first year at college. They were so close. Some even thought they were sisters. However, after they graduated, they started to meet less often. It was during this time that Kate got married. It was a spontaneous wedding. When Natasha found out, she was surprised that she wasn't even invited. But then again, no one was. About a year later, Natasha suddenly got news of Kate's accidental death. She was heartbroken. She dearly missed her friend. She couldn't understand how it all happened. But the day she found out that Kate's husband had suddenly sold their apartment and was in a relationship with another woman, soon after her death, Natasha became suspicious. She had always had her doubts about this man from the start. Look here, Max. This man is a bad man. We have to get to the bottom of this. Good boy, Max. Again. Natasha didn't work here. She didn't get this apartment through her job. She deliberately rented Kate's apartment to get to the end of what happened to her best friend. The only reason she tried to flirt with Arnold was to check if he was truly someone who would cheat. If he could cheat once, he would cheat again. But when Arnold didn't pay her any heed, Natasha started to doubt her suspicions. She realized there was something wrong with the apartment. But she wasn't prepared to believe that there could be anything supernatural. Natasha started to converse with Jess. Perhaps she would spill something. And she did. Natasha smirked. Your worst nightmare. You will never get away with this. Just then, the door creaked up and Arnold stepped inside. Yes, she is going to get away with this. Nobody's going to do anything to my sweetheart. I knew you might come. Kate often used to mention a best friend she had. Her overly smart best friend Natasha. There's one thing you didn't think out. There's already been one death in this apartment before. It won't be hard to make that happen again. And here's the catch. No one will be suspicious because, well, this apartment does have some issues with electricity. Arnold helped Jess up. No, you wicked people can't do anything to me. You won't get away with this. The police arrived moments after a fire had been reported. They found 2 people lifeless in an apartment on the 3rd floor. A woman named Natasha Hansen had been saved in a horrible electrical accident that had occurred. How did all this happen? Officer, this apartment has always had issues with electricity. The appliances never seemed to work properly. When I told my neighbor Jess about the issue, she brought over her boyfriend Arnold. Arnold was a technician. Jess said he might be able to fix the problem. When Arnold was working on the oven, there was a sudden electrical flare. When Jess saw what happened, she tried to pull Arnold away, but she too got electrocuted. Everything overpowered and burst after that. I didn't know what to do. I called the police immediately, but it was too late. The paramedics took out the remains of Arnold and Jess. Natasha looked around. The apartment was ruined. Everything was burnt out, broken, destroyed. Natasha stood there in awe. She sighed. I came here for your justice, Kate, but you saved my life instead. No. No. You wicked people can't do anything to me. You won't get away with this. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.